What's up YouTube, I'm Chris. So today we're going to be learning how to build haunted house walls. But this is not to go inside a house or a garage. This is meant for like a yard or a driveway. I don't have a basement, I don't have a garage, I have a very little yard, I have pretty much nothing. I'm building this for next year, so I'm giving myself a solid year to build. And I want to build, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever, walls. So I did a lot of research on this, and I don't know how to build anything. I have no construction background. I don't know how to frame, but building a frame, honestly, is common sense. Anybody can build a frame. You build a 4x8 square, and you brace the corners. But what I didn't know is, how am I going to get these walls freestanding? I build a wall, and then I can have a piece of wood coming out here and out there to brace it. That's retarded, because not only is it a tripping hazard, it looks like crap, and that's a terrible idea. So I thought, well, let me just get some wood, I'll start building a frame, and it'll just come to me, and it did. So what I do is I take two frames, hinge them together, and I just set them down at a 90-degree angle. Boom, they stand up by themselves. Awesome. When you're done building your maze, you just take a piece of wood and just go across the top of it and just drill it into each wall. Your entire maze is all hooked together. Even if someone just ran into it full force, they're not going to take it down. It's sturdy enough for kids to walk through on trick or treat. Let's start building. Now, originally when I first started, I didn't want to be spending a lot of money on this because I'm not made of money. I don't want to buy a bunch of 2x4s because, when they start stacking up, it's going to become expensive. Let me do it with 2x2s. I don't know anything about building. And I found out that that's a terrible idea. If you look behind me, these are two walls that I've built. They are 8 feet by 7 feet. And I hinge them together, but it's not sturdy at all. Granted, they're not braced, but they're crazy unsturdy. Look. When the wind blows, it's just like, shh, you don't want that. What we're going to do instead is I decided that 2x4s are the best way to go. They are a lot more sturdy. I've built a wall here that I put plastic on it already. I'm not going to do that. I'll wait till next year to put the plastic on, but today we're going to build the frame. By the way, I lied. I said my walls are 4x8 and they're not. They're going to be 4x7. The original walls that I cut were 4x7, and the reason why is because I wanted to be able to be stored into like a garage or a house easily without a lot of struggle. If I took off a foot, it'd be nice. I would like to build them 4x8, and I might eventually, but for now, I'm just going to do the 4x7, which means I can do more cutting, and it's nonsense. I'm very mad at myself. Only while I'm making the video. Now, as far as the corners go, all you really need is just, driftwood. Just any kind of random wood you find. And basically I'll show you how to cut it. Now, you're supposed to cut this with a miter saw, something that can cut at a perfect angle. I don't have one, all I have is circular saw. I'm doing this really unsafely and I wouldn't advise it, but this is all I have to work with, so. Now I got my two marks, so I know where to cut. Now you want to make sure that there is nothing sticking out over the edges here. Now granted, I can sand this down or just hammer out some of the splinters and whatnot, but you don't want wood sticking out. You want this to be completely flush all the way around. And that's pretty much all it takes. You have a frame now. My ground is uneven, but it's sturdy. It's not going anywhere. Now you just build two of these, set them next to each other, put a hinge, you're good to go.